He said take a village to raise a child. But what if the village is retarded?
What's going on? What is going on tonight? I got some things on my mind. This might turn into a rant. This might, I mean, the title and the picture is obviously offensive. Okay, I mean, obviously, these conversations about male hierarchy, I know off top are offensive, and here's who they're offensive to. These conversations, I'm gonna show you who these conversations are offensive to. Because some people believe they want to believe that there is no hierarchy, that we're all the same. All men are the same. Um, the people on the lower spectrum don't want to talk about everything basically in between alpha and sigma. Those are the individuals that do not want to talk about male hierarchy. Even though self-improvement makes you a stronger man, no matter what level you're on, it'll maintain that level or it can put you in a higher level. Okay. Basically being the best version of yourself. I mean, basically self-improvement can literally change your entire paradigm as far as who you actually are. But I get it. Um, man is naturally weak. You know, men are weak. Humans are weak. The path to least resistance is weakness, right? So I get it. It's easier to be weak than strong, right? But one of the things that I mean, I pretty much formed this title, the dichotomy of the failed beta male, is that a lot of and I'll pretty much just talk about for the most part the black community because I'm not. I mean, of course, I believe that to a certain degree that I have some cultural values that are American. That's I get all of that, but for the most part, I was raised around black people for the most part. And this is kind of more of an isolated situation, but it speaks to all men, really, to be honest. But I mean, I'm just talking about the things that I see primarily from men of different age groups, so high and low. Okay. And one of the things that I notice that I really don't say much. I mean, I say things from time to time because I think I have to let people know the reason why I do these videos is because, for one, I it's a way to understand. Basically, I see you motherfuckers. I see you losers. You know what I'm saying? It's a way for me to just be like, you know what? I know you acting like because the internet breeds narcissism, and it basically forms unhealthy egos. And this is like basically get the fuck back, right? Like, you know, one, get back, and then two, I see you motherfuckers. I hear you and I see you fuckers. And that's why I do these videos, and I know, and it's purposely, I don't give a fuck about pissing people off, because if you're weak to the point where you don't want to fucking self-improve and you want to be basically a bitch ass for the rest of your life, I mean, I understand that. Again, the path of least resistance is to fucking be a weak, spineless snail. Okay, I mean, shit, a worm, because a snail at least has a shell. And it knows enough to hide inside that shell. And the thing is that, okay, I I just get just kind of just like, man, you got to look at it like this from a guy from a perspective of when you see other people, whether they doing good or bad, you see other people just like they talk with so much confidence that it's like almost like how women, this is what women do, they because they don't compete as far as like women that are not in relationships, the fact that they're not in a relationship, they hold that as if they're winning. And it's like, I mean, okay, as much as self-righteous that you want to be about that, you're not winning. All somebody got to do is come up and club you upside your head and take your purse and take everything you got because you don't have a protection of a man. Pretty much most women are basically chosen to be victims of crimes because there's no other male authority to check them. And yes, most men are the perpetrators of crimes and violent crimes. I mean, of course. But even that, even you knowing that as a woman, and you fucking, put yourself in a situation where that's what you're gonna fucking choose to be by yourself and be independent, and then have the gall to come online or just to speak with self-righteousness about that shit. No, get this club upside your head like a caveman and come off this purse, come off everything you got. You don't even need a club because most men are strong enough to basically overpower women. And it's like, the same thing that how that sounds as, the whole self-righteousness of being single, and then you get your single, you basically get a lot of women get their single woman wake up call, you know. And they realize that's where the whole women talking about I need protection, I want protection because yeah, they like the money that they make and the independence, but they know they're vulnerable to basically become victims, the next victim. And what they're complaining, what a lot of women complain about with that is where the whole protection stuff comes in. They want to be independent but still want protection. As delusional as that sounds, but on the other side of that, you have men that have the same delusion. You'll never fucking be a winner in the eyes of fucking male hierarchy if you're a loser with women. I said that shit. You want me? All you got to do is play it back. I'm not gonna even repeat it. You can never be righteously, even women, I'll give women the whole delusional aspect of, oh, I'm winning and I'm single, I'm self-righteous and I'm single. But as a man, to be single and be self-righteous about that shit, that you're a fucking loser. I mean, you will never not be a loser. I mean, like, I'll give women a pass on that. And here's the thing: I've been on here many times, and I talked about the gripes I have with women, but you ain't never heard me say no, fuck all women or anything like that. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck how hard it is in America and dating. Or guess what the fuck I did? And when I did that shit, a whole paradigm. It's like a whole fucking portal open. I got my punk ass on the plane and I flew the fuck on out this motherfucker. At least I had the balls and understanding to fucking do that shit. Like, I mean, okay, I ain't hitting on shit here. This shit lame. Let me go to a fucking island and fuck a bitch in the fucking forest. At least if nothing else to be said, like I had enough motherfucking uh ability to take that self-righteous bullshit and throw it in the garbage can and get my ass on a flight and get the fuck on up out of here. I mean, I give a motherfucker some goddamn kudos to at least do that shit. Then be a self-righteous loser in the very country that you were born in, uh, parading and applauding yourself for being a fucking independent, self-righteous single loser. And I know this is very fucking offensive. I gives no fucks tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, I hear these motherfuckers every fucking day with their self-righteous bullshit. And it's like, yeah, like I gotta come on here to remind you motherfuckers. Like you ain't no motherfucking tough guy. You're no fucking intelligent, masculine, self-righteous philosopher. You're a fucking loser. In the eyes of evolution, you're a fucking loser. Okay. And every motherfucker, uh, Tom, Dick, and Harry that can get laid, even a bum can get laid. Even a bum can actually pursue a woman and fucking deal with somebody. Like you got all of this motherfucking, intelligence and self righteousness and philosophy, and you ain't fucking no bitches. You ain't got no motherfucking family for yourself. You ain't got no fucking legacy for yourself. So okay, soon as you get a heart attack, you up out of there. It's no trace, you know, it's like the fucking show Without a Trace. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I know a lot of people, a lot of black men were not educated, like Neely Fuller said. What was the three things that black people were not taught? The art of fucking war, the art of basically economics and business, and then the art of mating. How to fucking mate? What is mating? How to actually, like, mating is actually competing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's why at the end of the day, I get it. I know all of the laws and all of this other shit. I mean, I get that shit. It's tough, man, with all of these, laws that, rape and pillage motherfuckers' bank accounts and paychecks. I understand that shit. And it really bothers me too. But at the end of the day, I ain't none of this shit gonna stop me from fucking, from competing. I mean, I'll be a fucking loser if I told you anything different. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on here every day, talking about this shit and saying, okay, you gotta go out and, you know, talk to 100 bitches. And I don't I have some videos about certain things and what to do or how to do certain shit, or how hard it actually is and how fucked up it actually is. I mean, I said enough when I said, basically, like I said, if it's not hit no much, at least I got enough motherfucking balls to motherfucking lift my ball sack and hop my ass on a plane and get the fuck on up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, some people, they don't, like that, or they think you a loser if you got to do that. But at the end of the day, if I gotta go get on a fucking plane and go fuck in the forest somewhere in a strange place or island or whatever, so fucking be it. At least I mean, it's better than being a motherfucker just sitting around self-righteous, bragging about how self-righteous and independent and single you actually are, with no legacy, no family for yourself, jagging off. I mean, that's an absolute loser. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I remember I got a lot of flack because I was like, man, you gotta stop jagging off. You gotta fucking stop beating your dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally got a lot of flack, mainly from the young guys, because they really didn't know. They don't really, they didn't understand. Like, that shit is harmful to your fucking health, man. Beating your dick, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is in the, like, Bible and, you know, basically the stories about me beating your dick, man. That shit ain't good, man. It's, they say in the Bible, and I'm not even Christian. I mean, they say it's better to lay with a whore than waste your motherfucking beat your dick and waste your nut on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just it's fucking common sense. I mean, it's really like, okay. I mean, I mean, it's crazy, but you got to understand. I could, okay, for example, by that very notion is actually, I could tell you a story, and this is one of the greatest comedians that pretty much ever walked this earth. That is exactly what happened. Like, um, Richard Pryor is the son of a whore. He actually grew up in a brothel. His daddy was like a pimp. His grandma, I think, was a madam, and his mom was a whore. And that birthed one of the coldest comedians, basically that walked, this earth, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, I ain't saying that that's the best thing to do, but it's better than beating your dick to oblivion and then coming online talking about how self-righteous you are and how intelligent and accomplished you are. You know what I'm saying? And you're a loser at home beating your dick. You know what I'm saying? Because bitches in America ain't hitting on shit, and I'm one of the few people, and I ain't just talking about shit. I flew the fuck on up out of here. Flew the fuck on up out of here, motherfucker. Two deuces. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I wasn't gone that long, but I mean, it was definitely, you know, something that I did, and I'll do it again if it's that bad. I mean, shit. Like, I mean, I just don't agree with just being a fucking loser, man. I do not agree with this shit, and that's why I do videos like this, because I don't want you to think that I'm co-signing this shit. These are like reminder videos every now and again. Just wake your ass up and just remind you that, yeah, you thinking you probably winning, you might be a fucking loser. And I have to just, I have to be the older brother or whatever uncle to tell you, no, you might be losing out here, thinking that you winning. Out here, you coming home beating your dick every day. I gotta be that person, man, unfortunately, every now and again, because a lot of you motherfuckers, man, you got egos and you don't want to be told what to do. And you think because somebody else trying to tell you what to do or some shit, trying to, you know, tell you what to do with your dick police. I mean, this ain't dick police. I'm saying you're a loser. If you you an absolute loser, and you know what I'm saying, that's it. Like, I ain't telling I ain't telling you where to put your motherfucking dick. I mean, I'm just saying, if you beating your dick, you absolutely are a fucking loser. If you beating your dick every day as your fucking go-to girlfriend, you're a fucking loser. Women could do that and be a loser. They're still losers too. But the thing is that they do what they do. It ain't for you to be a loser along with them. A lot of dudes, a lot of lower tiered men, they believe that they should follow what women fucking want them to do. And that's absolutely a fucking that's absolutely a lower tier male. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to fucking follow what women want you to do, what they corral you to do for their acceptance. They ain't even giving you no pussy. It ain't like, okay, I could see it was like, oh yeah, if like what, that's what some women do wives or whatever do to they lower tier husband. Yeah, if you clean out the gutters, I'll give you some head. I'll kiss that spot you like. And I mean, it's, it is what it is, but guys, they be just trying to spice up their little love life or whatever. But yeah, the guy go, next thing you know, the fucking, later that Saturday, the man goes up on the gutters and he's cleaning the gutters out, and then he comes back in, freshens up, and the wife does the do, and it's like, the thing is that yeah, like, it's not like it's not like they giving you some pussy for being some white knight, or trying to pretend to be the good Negro, the good beta male Negro, and do everything the right self-righteous way. Like at the end of the rainbow is a bunch of bitches sucking on your dick and your balls. That ain't how they go. They don't give a fuck about you. They're showing you how they don't give a fuck about you by the fucking men that they date. Now, I mean, are they losing too? Obviously, yes, they are. They are losing bad. But it's not, I'm not saying it's not. I done made plenty of videos about them. I made most of every day I post shit about how women are fucking up, you know, all these baby daddy situations, and then they get disgruntled by men because they date the worst men, and then have they fucking wake up call, and then fucking want to go be gay and hate men. And then it's like, why is it you choosing these types of men? And they're not all men. It's like all men are the fucking same, and they're not. But I mean, like, at the end of the day, they do what they do, and they be losing out here, trying to fuck every dude that they like, and then some of the dudes that they like got STDs, and then now they fucking walking around with they're walking around as STD carriers. You know what I'm saying? STD super spreaders and shit like that, because they done dated the men that they wanted. All of it. See, this is the other side of the whole. Okay, I like men that other women like argument. Well, you don't talk about how, okay, that dude got fucking some uncurable fucking disease, or not cured by modern medicine, or the American Medical Association has no cure for it on record, and he's walking around with these fucking uncurable diseases, STIs, and he looks handsome, or he looks good, and all the ladies like him, but he's got a fucking uncurable fucking disease. And that's the whole thing. Like, even women that look good, a lot of the women that look good, a lot of women that are uh, drop dead gorgeous, you got to understand, those women have been through a lot of dicks, and some of them have fucking STDs because they're easily able to get the men that they want to, and then some of the men that they wanted had fucking STDs. And that's another reason why women hate men, because they got a fucking STD. They're walking around with a fucking STD from some dude that they had a relationship with, that they was having a good time with, that looked good, that fucked good, and all of that, and gave them a fucking STD. Yeah, that's another side of it too that's not really talked about. Yeah, it goes into that type of scenario that probably most women do not even want to talk about. They have as a secret, but they probably talk about it with other women. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they be fucking around and finding out every fucking day. And I mean, that's why a lot of them are bitter. But I mean, the thing is that it's not your job to fucking worry about what women want and what women like, and how women are, and all of their temperaments and shit like that. As a man, as a fucking high level man, your daily interactions and daily activities is fucking dominating. You know what I'm saying? You walking outside if you're anything like my ass, you walking outside the door and you trying to fucking take over some shit. You trying to every day is a domination game. And you trying to fucking take as much as you can get. And it's like, okay, at the end of the day, women are part of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like trying to worry about what the fuck they want and what they to please them. That's a losing game, man. I've said that many a times. I realize that like it's a fucking losing game. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna give you some secrets, right? I'm gonna give you some game. Women don't give a fuck about men that care and all of that. They don't give a fuck about men that are like care bears and shit like that. They don't give a fuck about that shit because at the end of the day, women really are a sacrifice. They'll if they really care about you, it's just like chess. They'll fucking put their life on the line for you. They'll do anything for you because they know at the end of the day, um, shit, men's job is to fucking fight and die. So you caring about them, it's like, oh, it's so cute that you care about them. Because at the end of the day, your job is not to care about them. It's supposed to fight and die. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, part of that fucking fighting and dying may be partly because you care about your family or children or whatever, but at the end of the day, they know the hardiest of men, the strongest of men don't give no fucks about them. It's not their job to give a fuck about what they care about and all of that. Because their job is to fight other men and fucking die if they have to. That's how this shit's supposed to go. Like, and this shit ain't no fucking game, man. I mean, it's just a lot of you motherfuckers was not taught any shit because they ain't had no brothers, you ain't had no fucking daddy that was a fucking that had a fucking spine or was around or whatever the fuck. Your mama told you a bunch of lies. One of the heartbreaking stories about life is when you start to get older and your kinfolk start dying off and shit. One of the things that they die off with is a bunch of secrets, a bunch of like stories that you didn't know about because ain't nobody tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? You start figuring shit out. It's like, God damn. You start realizing all of the lies that your parents have left and aunts and uncles and all of this shit. You start figuring out all of these lies that was like wasn't either they were lies that weren't told or secrets that weren't told. They were basically lies by omission. You start hearing all of these stories and shit you ain't never heard before. That shit's so tripped out, man. But at the end of the day, you older and you like, well, what the fuck I'm gonna do about it now? I'm older. I ain't young. Shit don't matter. I still gotta go to work and pay my taxes. I mean, shit, it doesn't matter, you know, what grandma did 50 years ago. You know, okay, it makes a good story, but damn, I wish I would have knew about it sooner, but I still gotta go fucking pay my taxes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it comes with life, man. I mean, people watch from when you if you younger, when you get like in your 50s or 40s and people start dying off, man, you're gonna start hearing all these little secrets and shit that they done tried to bury off. And then I guess people once people start dying, they feel compelled to tell the stories that won't be worried about anymore because they already dead and gone. Then they start, it's almost like family members start releasing unclassified documents with you and shit, unclassified secrets and shit, like because the other person already dead. I mean, it's just it's weird and crazy at the same time. But um all I'm saying is like, you know, you could be, before you know it, like you could just, I think the internet does this where you just, people are so like charged to be so, I guess because of their unchecked ego. People have these little echo chambers and shit, these little, they don't get challenged and shit like that. They don't come on no panel, or, they deleting chat messages and deleting comments and shit. They can control, interactions with people unfiltered. And it's like, at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, you just got somebody, you got a popular wuss that don't want to be checked. Like, uh, women do this. A lot of these women content creators, they do the same shit. Like they don't fucking take any type of criticism well, and they haven't really been like, interviewed, or did any type of conversating with other people and shit like that, what good or bad. And I'm not saying that you should be doing that. Like, not everybody. Some places it's just not. It's either not friendly. It's not like meaning they don't like you no matter what you say, and you just gotta understand that. Like, there's certain people, they don't like anything you got to say, no matter what you got to say. Like, whatever you know you trying to say, they gonna have something to say about it, because they just don't like you. And it has nothing to do with what you're talking about. It just certain people just don't like you, and you got to deal with that, as it go. But um, some people have the ability to control channels and panels, and know how to interview people and shit like that, and not be one-sided. But a lot of people don't. I mean, I'll say myself, I have the ability to do that, because for the most part, I don't have no friends. It's about the conversation. It's about, basically right and wrong. It's no, I have no narrative. I don't make no money off of YouTube, so it's no motivation for me to lose any money or gain any money. So I don't, somebody come on my panel, it's a genuine conversation, because I don't have no motives. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I get it. People got they brand and they ego and they, motives and all of that type of shit, and they don't want to be upstaged and embarrassed or whatever the fuck, they got, as far as what they got going on is, I don't, it ain't really like that. I mean, as long as it's respectful. Like the chick that I used to have on here, she was disrespectful. She was disrespectful as fuck. Like, I mean, I gave her one chance, second chance, and then that was it. Like, she was out of here. Like, and it's like, uh, as long as the conversation is respectful and cordial, it's no reason for me to, you know, think anything otherwise. If you have your opinion on something, if you do some crazy shit and that's what you do, that's what you do. I mean, I'll let other people be the judge of that. But a lot of these people, they don't have these types of situations. They're fucking, they have their own little viewpoints and shit like that, but they come off like they're not losers. Like, and it's like, I mean, I have to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah, like you might be, self-righteous, and you have some philosophies and all of this type of shit, but at the end of the day, you're a fucking loser. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, a lot of people have things, that problems and issues that they were, dealing with or working on, but it's like you got a lot of self-righteous losers, and that's why I have to just come on here and just, kind of like put people in a fucking
You're
place.
automatically beta. Automatically, you're beta. You're beta as fuck.
And it's like, man, I mean, it's like, dude, I mean, who are you? Who do you think you are? It's like, people come online and they just like, just put on a whole new identity. Like they just, he's just like, man, I'm Superman. It's like, nigga, you work in accounting, motherfucker, on the fifth floor. In the building on Wabash, nigga. You you ain't Superman. you you work in accounting, man. For Deloitte on the fifth floor. You know what I'm saying? Your manager is a millennial fucking nepo baby. You know what I'm saying? And you halfway retired. You know what I'm saying? You got another 15 years to go, and you hoping that you can still get your company match. Like, man, I mean, come on, bruh. I just can't. I'm cool, man. I ain't worried about this shit. This shit ain't really like, I'm not like frustrated about this shit. I mean, it's just like, man, I just like hate to be the bearer of bad news. Like, you're not really hitting on everything you think you hitting on. Like, I mean, it's a lot of fucking improvement to be done for the most part. And when you look at the black community, as I do every day, like I'll be like, damn, and I'll be the one be like, man, can we get some businesses out here? Like, can we get some investments out here? Like, I mean, y'all talk like y'all doing so fucking good, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You got a motherfucking tap dance for massa. You got to motherfucking do some Bojangle shit because you ain't got no motherfucking business. You don't have any financial leverage. Like, I mean, you don't have no situation where you can just say, fuck, go fuck yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't own no assets. You have a liability mindset. You think liability, oh, I'm just gonna, max out my credit cards and buy designer. I'm gonna buy me a nice car and get a car note. And it's like that consumer mindset, that liability mindset keeps you in the poorhouse. Rich man getting richer, you getting poor. You know, I mean, because you're not playing the game like a winner. You playing the game like a loser. You're taught to be a loser. You think pleasing others is what's going to give you some type of self-righteous indignation. Them bitches don't give a fuck about how much you please them by not talking about them or whatever the fuck. Man, they gonna still do what they gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. About 40%, like close to 40% of my audience is fucking women. The fucking analytics tell you on YouTube, and it's like, I mean, I don't have nothing against no women or whatever the hell. I'm still out here. I'm not one of the things that while a lot of these women are, I believe, are losers, they're the ones that saying they don't want to deal with men. I'm out here like, ship falling, sinking or not. I'm still out here fucking. I'm still trying to fuck. I'm still competing. Like, no matter what the fuck the black community is. Like, I mean, and it's like, uh, good or bad, it is what it is. But the thing is that you got a lot of women. They're talking about, you know, dating women and um, fucking not, getting married, not dating at all, or whatever the fuck they talking about. It ain't got nothing to do with trying to basically get with a man. And it's like I'm not on that, and most men are not on that. We're not, talking about, oh, we just gonna say fuck all women and beat our dicks. Get into a Power Ranger fucking formation and beat our dicks. No, like men. I mean, men ain't on that. Like, I mean, at least for the most part, in worst case scenario, a lot of men just pay women. They just pay. They just got scenarios where they'll just trick off on women. I mean, I ain't got nothing against that. Like, if that's what you think that you got to do, so be it. As long as you probably not. I mean, the worst thing is probably beating your fucking dick and then believing that you're self-righteous at the same time. Like, that shit is fucking mental illness, if you ask me. That's very mentally ill, like, very much so. But you don't have nobody checking nobody. People don't want to offend other people. And I mean, like, one of the things I have to say, like, I really don't give a fuck about offending anybody. Like, I'm probably one of the most offensive people on YouTube. I have no problem offending people. I don't call out names. I hardly ever call out names. But I'm gonna get you in my web. You gonna feel that tingle. Like, I'm gonna lay the fucking spider trap just like a preacher telling the truth and it hurts. Like, I'm gonna tell that truth and that shit gonna hurt your ass. I done hurt a lot of people, old and young. I hurt feelings. I'm hurting feelings now. And this ain't going unlisted. This staying up. And I've said some things that's kind of possibly even embarrassing from what my personal life about my personal life. But I'm gonna tell you this, yeah, not a lot of people don't want to fucking offend people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna speak my truth, because at the end of the day, man, people need a wake up call every now and again. It's like, if I didn't speak out on the reality of things, then nobody will fucking want to change. Nobody would, even if I listen. A lot of times I listen to my own videos. If I'm not inspiring to my fucking self, who do you think I'm? Like, how am I inspiring somebody else? Like, a lot of my own content is inspirational for me. Like, it shit, like fucking video vlogs, for me to listen to it, and remind. Like, sometimes I watch some of my old videos and I'll be fucking inspired. I'm like, God damn, man, I should clip that. But I hardly ever do, because it take time, and I don't really got the time to fucking be clipping videos and shit. But the thing is, some of the stuff I have done. But yeah, like, I mean, I gotta fucking call it how it is, man. I mean, like, I gotta be the older brother, like, just kicking in the door, like, stop beating your fucking dick, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I'm gonna get up out of here, but I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm gonna tell you this shit. This is one of the funny. I never said this shit to, like, I pretty much, man, I ain't tell this shit probably to my friends. But when I was going through puberty, I used to beat my dick like a mad hatter. And I mean, I never forget this shit, man. I was like probably like 14. I was in high school. Man, I went to shit. The high school I went to was like shit, fucking eight. It was like a HBCU, damn near. Like, I mean, uh, it was some motherfuckers to steal, freaking, what I'm saying, like fucking Ebony Jet magazine beauty of the week. Like, that was the fuck I went to school with, like, every fucking day. Like, it's just damn, Um and I used to, yeah, man, I used to just be going home and it's like, yeah, I'm about to get one off. Man, one of these days, I was just, about to beat off or whatever, and I was probably in the throes of it. My daddy walked in the fucking room. I'll never forget this shit. He was like, "Get a fucking girlfriend." And I was like, damn. I mean, he don't even believe in girlfriends. He was like, man, if it's that bad, man, just get you a fucking girlfriend, man. And it was like, I never forget that shit, man. And it's like, man, that's I gotta kind of fucking like, what I'm saying, jump out the window and just be like, man, y'all be thinking that should be self-righteous to be a fucking like independent single man with no kids. And it's like, dude, man, you don't you wasn't taught, like, basically a lot of you guys didn't go to college and probably didn't take humanities, but I mean, I gotta fucking remind your ass because you don't know. On this chart here, Maslow's theories of needs, okay, it's not on here, but it's at the fucking bottom. You'll see it. All you got to do is search Maslow's theory of needs. It's on the bottom here. And it says, it's not on this one, but it says fucking sex on the fucking bottom. You need sex for survival. Like, I mean, I don't know how many fucking, like, I gotta fucking be this is stuff you learn in like psychology 101 and shit like that. Like, I gotta fucking educate your ass because you don't fucking know. Like, I mean, now I've talked about this before, but that shit is important. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta fucking, you know, be the dad, the YouTube dad, uncle, big bro, and tell you, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, um, you ain't self-righteous, man, beating your dick, man. And that's one of the things that I agree with, like the Andrew Tate, what I'm saying, videos and shit. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like I agree with that shit. Like, if it's fucked up, it's your doing. You gotta get up out that shit, no matter how hard life is, and you know what I'm saying, you gotta fucking get up and figure the fucking shit out. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be nobody coming to save your ass. I ain't coming to save you. I'm just telling you, you know what I'm saying, some shit that just kind of gets light a fire in you, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, to just try to, do better. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nobody coming to save your ass. You know what I'm saying? You got to be out here and you got to fucking put the pedal to the metal. And I'm just saying, don't be no fucking idiot thinking, you just gotta be a self-righteous fucking super monk and then, you know what I'm saying, not try to deal with women, man. Women are a fucking power source. If you got a good woman, she's a power source. If a woman got a good man, that's a power source, and it's like a continuum of power. If you got a healthy relationship, a lot of times what happens, I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of guys on YouTube, they come from a situation where they've had a failed relationship or multiple failed relationships. I ain't no different. Okay, I've talked about many times, where I fucked up. But the thing is that what they don't say a lot of times, or what a lot of times they don't really put out enough is, well, I had these fucked up ass relationships. It ain't like every dude has had fucked up relationships and then they just gave up. It is men out here that had healthy relationships and they, pretty much sealed the deal and, kept it solid. Like, it's just, some guys that have had those, they figured out, okay, I need to do this and this. And then some guys just kind of just carry the fucking cloud over their heads. And then they come to the fucking internet with that cloud and they spread that cloud to other people. And it's like, nah, they got that cloud, man. you know, and they got their problems and they got their fucked up situations. It's never, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is real deal, right? Like, you know, I don't even really expose as far as like what I really know and all of that. Like you know, not too many people can. I mean, like you know, most of the stuff I talk about is finance related, sometimes self-improvement, sometimes, you know, I'm just starting to kind of get off in the weeds of like, you know, the tinfoil hat stuff. But man, I'm gonna tell you, man, like as far as men, our virility in sexual prowess is in our fucking health. When the health, the one of the major signs of a man basically starting to die and get unhealthy is when a man can't have a hard on. When a man can't, you know, produce a hard on, he has erection problems and problems, you know, with sexual dysfunction and shit like that. So, like, that's a major fucking thing, like, that you gotta understand. As a man, you are never supposed to give up. I mean, like, fucking, I never forget this shit. Like, I always think about this. Like, you know, Isaac Hayes, before he passed away, he had a baby. You know, even Robert De Niro in fucking what's dude the other one, Al Pacino, they got newborn kids, man. They 80 some fucking years old, man. Like, it ain't never too fucking late, man. The fucking, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, dude, like, I mean, that's one of the privileges of being a fucking man. Like, that's the fucking superpower in being a man. And, you know, the thing is a lot of men don't talk about that shit. They don't fucking, you know what I'm saying, really go in the weeds in that. And it's like, you know, the thing is that you gotta understand that shit, it's not what you think it is. Like, a lot of guys may be popular, whatever the fuck. They got their own philosophy, their own, you know, great cloud that they bring. Even maybe sometimes I bring a great cloud from time to time, you know, and I'm still in the process. I'm still not satisfied where I want to be financially, successfully in life. I mean, I still have a lot of improvement that I want to work on. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in progress. But you know, the thing is that the things that I've said today, don't get it twisted. Like, this shit is a fucking fight, and you know, it's not fucking what you might think it is. Like, as far as, you know, trying to just be, you know, some loser or whatever, because, you know, somebody or social acceptance has pushed you into being a fucking loser. Don't go for that shit if you can help it. You know what I'm saying? That's my little TED talk for tonight.
It's amazing what you can achieve if you never give up. My saying, unmatched perspicacity and sheer indefatigability. That point is important. Sheer indefatigability. The inability to become fatigued. If you never quit, if you never give up, if you never give in, you're going to get exactly what you wanted. All you had to do is not be a fucking coward. And you still failed. I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't care about excuses. God doesn't care about excuses. And the winners who went through the exact same things you're going through, who didn't quit, don't care about excuses. There are winners and losers in the world. You are either a winner who dedicates himself, never gives up, continues to learn, does everything he knows he needs to do regardless of how he feels, or you're a loser who makes excuses and you stay invisible for the rest of human time. Make a choice.